Hey guys, well we're here with Andrew Devlin, and Andrew Devlin is a servant leader in Amari Global, and most of you have probably heard about Amari Global, probably that's why you're here. But I want to get him on the call for just a few minutes and talking specifically about why is a good time right now for nurses and healthcare providers to really go with Amari. So Andrew, could you just quickly tell a little bit about your story, and then from your perspective, right, as being a true leader in this company, why do you think it's a good time?
I think now, honestly, we are set for exponential growth. We have a product that works, that is proven, and that is not only proven scientifically, but proven with the testimonies that we have. And, who doesn't need to feel great in this season? Whether it's, like the stress, the anxiety, feelings of depression, or people that go, you know what, I'm doing good, but they know when this season ends that they are going to be part of the ramp up of the economy, and those people are going to need that additional support so that they are on firing on all cylinders, so that those people then get to create more jobs for people, and we get this country back where it needs to be. So I think Amari's set absolutely fantastically when it comes to product. We have just such a viable product that is so timely. The second part is traditionally direct sales businesses grow faster when the economy's struggling than when the economy's good, because people get resourceful. People go, you know what, how can I have a residual income? And I think a lot of people think that, I was always a hard worker. I grew up as a hard worker. My parents were hard workers. We ran out of hours in a day. And I didn't understand the concept of residual income the way I do now. And I just remember being a dad of 2 kids at the time. I've got 4 kids right now. And I went, I can't work any harder, and I can't work any longer, and I'm exhausted. And that's when I came across a book, Robert Kiyosaki's the Cash Flow Quadrant. Mm-hmm. And it talked about residual income. It talked about being an employee or self-employed. I didn't realize that most self-employed people think they're business owners, but they're actually just self-employed. Business owners and investors. And I was like, well, I've got no money to invest. But I love the idea of this residual income standpoint. And once I fully wrapped my head around that, I was like, this is the way that you create freedom. You can't create freedom in your house trading time for money. And what I mean by your house, I mean your family. We were able to go over to Europe for 5 weeks. My parents had never met all the kids. We adopted 2. And we were able to go to Iceland and Spain and Wales and Scotland and England. And our Amari business continued to grow, and I could continue to work it. And I was like, man, this is awesome. The next year, my dad had a heart valve transplant, and I was going to leave. The day before, I got a call saying the surgery was cancelled, and I just rebooked my flights. I didn't have to call anybody and say, hey, I said I was going to be gone next week, but now it's not going to be for a couple of weeks. Can you? It's freedom. It's freedom. So that residual income plus the lifestyle freedom is something that we really do enjoy. And having the income for the first time in our lives, the reason my kids hadn't seen my parents is we just didn't have the personal economy until we started doing Amari. So massive blessing for our family. And we had an absolute riot over in Europe. And, we enjoy life a lot more from our residual income with Amari than we did ever trading that time for money. And I have a lot more fun, and I'm not exhausted, which is I love
that. That's a really good one too, man. And you're right, and it is that time, right? And also, I think if I look at a lot of nurses and healthcare professionals looking, right, part of it's also how can I make an impact, right? Doing what I love to do. And I know we have several naturopathic doctors, we have a physician, right? We have several people also on your team that are specifically doing this. How do you see them doing that, and how is it possible to integrate both the feeling of impact and then also being able to have that lifestyle that you want, right?
Yeah, my wife was a nurse for over 10, 12 years, and she was post-surgery And, you know, it was like, there was a trade. There was a trade of, is she home for Christmas or is she home for New Year? And she got into nursing because she loved people and she wanted to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, but she found that for her, the nursing profession changed from being this one of serving people to where she was, can't speak for everywhere, but wanting more of an automated system process. That caring part of her was being valued less and less. And the robot, again, in the hospital she was in, was more preferred. And she was just like, I just want to make a difference. And I think that's the thing. We get to be at the sharp end of the spear, making a difference in this country in terms of mental wellness and physical wellness. And, you know, I feel like some people, they need that mental, other people need that mental fitness where they go, hey, I want to be playing on firing on all cylinders. I want to wake up feeling energetic every day and creative. And I see right now with the current season that healthcare professionals are respected in a way that it hasn't been for maybe 100 years, you know? And so you guys have all got superhero status right now. And imagine you guys using the thing that you've been doing for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and now being a resource to help people really make a difference in their own lives and their own families, and being a pioneer. You know, this is what we're finding with the MDs that are coming in. These are the forward thinkers. These are the people that see the writing on the wall and they're going, I want to be a part of a movement that creates true health. Because they're healers. You know, you guys are all healers, and this is an element of healing. Is there a time for medicine? You bet yeah. You know, but there's also a time for holistic as well. So I love a lot of the MDs that we've got and nurses and nurse practitioners, because they bridge the gap between holistic and modern. And I think that's the sweet spot for a lot of people.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And of course I agree. How could I not? but no, I really love it. And to me, it feels like such an opportunity right now. And I love that you're talking towards, right? Being part of this movement, being part of this change, and then also creating lifestyle that you really want. So absolutely. Thank you so much for that. If you would say anything kind of as a close up for nurses and healthcare professionals, what would you say to them to the reasons to really come on board? Wow, I think you've alluded to it, but maybe we can just summarize.
You know, I think if you were going to dream and dream big for you, for your family, and you had the opportunity to do something that you love in the space of serving people from a health standpoint, that could grow bigger than what you might ever expect. You know, when we started this business, I had a lot of doubts about what I could do. I didn't think I could do anything special. And, you know, in our second year, you know, last year, we did $182,000. And if you told me that when we started, I would have laughed and thought you were insane. And I'm not saying that number to boast. I'm just saying, if you could earn that amount of money, what would you do for your family? As I said, we went to Europe. We've been able to fully support orphans in India and Africa. When we went up and told the company what we want to do, she said, you do realize how much this is going to cost a month? And I went, yeah, I do. She goes, you do realize this is till they graduate? And I was like, yeah. She goes, and that's going to be like 12 years. And I was like, fully aware. She goes, but you can't start and stop. And I was like, I get it. I said, I'm in all the way. And I broke down crying. She cried. And I was like, this is the difference our income is doing. That's the difference. When you're paycheck to paycheck, or even a little bit ahead, you don't get to dream about the difference you can make in the world. And so if you could make an extra $10,000 or more a month, what would you do in the world? What would be the thing that you would do? How would your family benefit from it? And what if you could do it from a part-time income, for part-time sort of work focus? I do about 15, 20 hours a week at the level that we're at. And, you know, what if you could do 100,000 with 10 hours a week? Would that be worth it to you? You know, so again, we're small right now, but we're growing. And what we need to grow is passionate people that want to make a difference in this world and have some fun doing it. So if that's you, let's talk more. And, you know, and I'll give you this final bit of advice. The only way that you know if you can do this or not do it is give it 6 months without judging yourself at the best of your ability. At the end of that 6 months, you're going to know if this is right for you or not. But for me, having an opinion early on, going, oh, I don't think I could do this, you might surprise yourself like we did. So, you know, and you might go, you know what, I've got everything I need to blow this out of the water. Great, let's go do it together.
I love it. Let's go do it together. I love that, Andrew. Thank you so much.